All right, Brian, thank you very much. And let's take a look at the numbers in our next fight, Steve. Slava Shabranskyy and Garrett Wilson.
Big difference in numbers, but size doesn't always dictate style, Barry. Shabranskyy, tall and long, but he likes to walk to his man, and Wilson, who's short, is actually more effective from mid-range. He likes to wing big shots. So they don't fight the way you might assume they fight.
No, that's absolutely true. 6'3½", good size, pretty tall for a light heavyweight. He's 27 years of age. And we're set to go then with this fight, Shabranskyy and Wilson. Let's go to the center of the ring once more. Introduction of the fighters. And here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas at this time, we present the Showtime Extreme featured attraction brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Showtime, sponsored by Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, and Casa Noble Tequila, single estate grown premium tequila. Introducing our judges, all from Nevada, Lisa Jumpa, Dick Hauk, and Ricardo Ocasio. Our referee in charge, our third man to the ring, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing in a light heavyweight special attraction. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His weight 178 pounds, his record 13 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the Ultimate Warrior, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing yellow trunks with blue trim, fighting out of North Hollywood, California, by way of Ukraine. His weight 177 pounds, his record 11 wins, no losses, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Vyacheslav Lionheart Shabranskyy. Once again, a referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Jay Nady.
Okay, my turn. Any questions? I gave you instructions earlier. Good luck, touch gloves, let's go to work. Thanks. What's that?
So with that, we are set to go. Here's a look at Slava Shabranskyy, and real name, Vyacheslav, but he said, I go by Slava, easier to pronounce. Garrett Wilson, he calls himself the Ultimate Warrior. We asked him to describe his style. He said, Ultimate Warrior.
Says it all. He's a fighter who keeps in the fight, got a great chin. He'll come forward, and he wings big punches.
Shabranskyy starts off with a double jab. As we said earlier, we've been seeing a number of Ukrainian expats coming here to the United States to launch their professional career, and they really are cut from the same cloth, and that cloth is tough.
Yes, and so many good ones. I mean, the Klitschko's obviously, but we've seen Lomachenko and Red Catch, and more recently Yevgen Heatroff on Showbox, and Shabranskyy, yet another one, signed with Golden Boy, power promoter. We should mention that he had 8 fights in the World Series of Boxing. I consider those pro fights. They're not part of his official record necessarily, but he went 5-2-1, so he did lose a couple of those fights.
He did, and he said he was glad he did them, and we asked him, would you do it over again if you had a chance? And he said, yes, absolutely, I would, because he was fighting tough guys, very good transition fights.
Best amateurs in the world fighting the World Series of Boxing. You can see Shabransky's style. He's a busy guy. He's trying to get that jab untracked.
Wilson wings a right hand. Wilson's going to be right there. He's a tough guy. I think a very good test at this juncture of Shabransky's career.
Come on over here. Put those trunks down. They're coming up. The trunks are coming up. He just pushed them down. I want you to pull them down.
Where do you want him to?
I want him below so I can see his belly button like I told you in the dressing room.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Box.
All right, so a little clothing issue here.
Tough to find a good pair of trunks, Barry.
It is. It is. Mine never fit.
Stop. Break.
I like the fact that Wilson is throwing some big shots early in this fight. Sometimes he gets a little lazy in the ring.
It's one of those hard workers. He's always in the gym. He says, I fought every one of the tough Philadelphia guys. And tough Philadelphia is redundant.
Yes. including B-Hop, who just celebrated his 50th birthday.
He'll be in the house tonight. There's a winging right hand by Wilson. 1 minute remaining here in round one.
I think as Wilson throws punches, I think you see what I mean when I said at the top. He likes mid-range because he needs room to throw those shots. But when he's mid-range, he's getting hit.
It was a nice 4-punch combination by Shabranskyy.
And that's one of the differences between these fighters. Shabranskyy has the ability to throw in combination.
Shabranskyy,
one at a time from Wilson.
Stop! Let him out. Step back.
he's been very effective. High connect percentage here in this first round, I think, for Shabranskyy. Again, 4 punches all landed. That's the other common thing, I think, amongst the Ukrainian fighters.
Stop.
They're very effective. They don't waste a lot of punches, and they throw a lot of punches with intent.
There you go. Where your head going?
Interesting first round.
Hey, ref. Hey, ref. Come in.
Hold it.
Hold it. You hold it.
You hold it.
Okay. Let's take it one round at a time. We know exactly what this guy is looking for, right, Slava? He's looking for punches over the top, right? He's looking for that right hand over the top. I don't want you to stand straight up, okay? I need you to stay low.
Breathe. Sit down. Break this ball from the bottom to the top. The punches you put on the side of his gloves need to be in here. All right? Then we go up to that head. Anytime you make a move, you feign your jab, you working behind that goddamn jab. All in here. Proper leans over here. Everything up underneath, bottom to the top. Work behind your jab. Take it down.
I thought interesting comments between rounds from both corners. They want Shabranskyy to get a little bit lower, and they want Wilson to work the body, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. Rodney Rice in Wilson's corner landed a few good punches there in between rounds, so just about did. 28-8 shows stats connect advantage for Shabranskyy in the first round.
Stop. Let him up. Sit back. Now box.
Where's your money at? Smart man. Smart.
Shabranskyy not exactly walking in, but he doesn't have to because Wilson fights at a distance where Shabransky's punches are set up for him. He doesn't really have to hunt his man down.
There was a good right hand to the body, like right at the rib cage, and a left hand to the head by Wilson. Right hand from Shabranskyy.
I mentioned it briefly last round. When you commit to your punches,
Nice uppercut there by Shabranskyy.
you know, when you commit as much as you do with your punches like Wilson does, you can't throw more than one at a time. You're off balance.
Stop. Break.
I like Shabransky's jab. It's good, straight, hard jab.
T, behind the jab, let your hands go. Give me that body work, son.
Right hand on the top of the head.
Don't grab his
Wilson
head.
coming in.
No.
Head first.
Don't worry about it.
Nice combination again by Shabranskyy. 2-punch combination. Got in, got out.
In our first fight, Barry, the Brazilian showed us a real good chin as we take a look at that high percentage of jabs landed by Shabranskyy. Nothing coming back from Wilson, predictably. But we're seeing another real good chin here in Philadelphia's Wilson.
Tough guy.
Yeah, tough guy. Been stopped once. That was by Omar Shiko, who was once a top 10
Pull his head
guy.
down. Keep your head up. Box.
I didn't really think that he was pushing Wilson's head down. I think that's just the way Wilson comes in.
Talk about how tough Wilson is. 2 fights ago, he fought Glasgow, a heavyweight.
205.
Yeah,
Back to work, it ain't over.
and he went the distance.
Wilson says, I'm a hungry fighter. He says he's got a son about to go off to college. He's got 3 other kids. Got to be bread on the table. Nice combination from Wilson.
Good money there.
Easier said than done, though, for Wilson to follow his corner's advice and go to the body. Nice shot, caught him coming in, and that'll be a knockdown.
1, 2, 3, go back over there. Hurry up, I can't start to go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you okay? Come here. All right? All right.
Well, it was sudden, and it was effective.
At the very end of the round, and
You got to move your head. You got to take it to this motherfucker. Can't go in the head first. Can't go in the head first. Give it in the head. You're bending in. We bending in. All right? You're still all right, though. You're still okay. Put that down. You can't bend in over that front knee.
a couple of looks at this knockdown that happens at the very end of round 2. Of course, it's the same round I talked about with a great chin Wilson has. It started with a right uppercut, and look at that delayed reaction. Wow. Took a while for Wilson's brain to tell his body how badly hurt he was. That's a clean right uppercut that Wilson walked into. How much impact does that add when you walk into a shot like that? Wow.
He was still wobbly going back to his corner, too. Let's see what he has as he comes out for this third round and see how Shabranskyy deals with this. I think Wilson is still not quite 100%. Talking to Shabranskyy. Shabranskyy again, three-punch combination. Jay Needy said it was low. I didn't believe it was.
I think that amateur experience Shabranskyy had in the Ukraine showed by his choice of punches there, landing that uppercut. That was a beautiful punch.
Sure was.
It's a veteran move.
Isn't it interesting, too, Steve? In our first round, we were talking about neither guy really setting down on his punches. Shabranskyy sets down on almost every punch, including his jab.
I think he punches just hard enough to hurt his guy, but he's a volume guy, too. He throws a lot of punches.
Yes.
And Garrett looks okay. Garrett Wilson's legs look okay, and his gloves are high.
Took another shot.
Of course, once you've been hurt by one shot, it can happen again.
Stop. Don't grab his head. Keep your head up. Box.
You wonder, Barry, if that knockdown had come earlier in the round, would he have gotten out of the round?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Shabranskyy has to be careful. He is pushing the head of Wilson down. Jay Needy has already told him about that.
And I'll show you another bit of maturity from Shabranskyy. He had his man down, almost out at the end of the second round. He's not in a rush now. He's staying calm, fighting the same fight he was fighting before the knockdown.
Still a minute to go here in round 3.
First time Shabransky's gone southpaw, very briefly.
Nice combination again, that backs Wilson up. And another good left hand, that backs Wilson up. And a right hand. Showed good power in both hands. Good body shot. And a right to the head. And a left right to the body.
Wow.
30 seconds, still a ways to go.
Not much Shabransky's doing wrong, is there? Look at him changing angles, quick on his feet.
Very impressive, very impressive. Not missing punches. Very sharp with his punches. Variety of punches.
And with Wilson not backing up and not punching, Shabranskyy just has to figure out how to unlock the lock and pick which shots he wants to land.
Yes.
Right now, they're all landing.
That was an excellent round for Shabranskyy.
On a real jab. Don't lay that thing out there like this.
We go back to round 2, the end of the round. This is the knockdown. Watch him walk into the punch. Wilson started a left hook that exposed his chin, and Shabranskyy picked the perfect punch. And now we fast forward to round 3, and beautiful boxing. Shabranskyy not only using his fists, you see a right hand to the body, clearly hurt Wilson, but using his feet as well to keep a distance. Look at that, that's nice defense. He sees that punch coming. You defend a fighter like Wilson with your eyes because his punches are so wide, you see them coming.
Push this shit down, keep it down, all right? Over there, all right? Right on the top.
That, to my eyes, was a very impressive round.
Yeah, even more so than the second round when he scored the knockdown.
Yeah.
Only 4 connects for Wilson in round 3. Right now, he's not in this fight. Can he get back into it? We'll see.
I think this is going to be a real pivotal round for him.
And you can see by Wilson's stance, even when he has the opportunity to get inside, he chooses not to. And for a 5'8" light heavyweight, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But he's not an infighter. Right there, he could step under the jab and get inside. He chooses not to.
There was a double jab and a right hand to the top of the head. Came back with a wild left hand, but it got there behind the ear. There's a body shot with the right hand. What I really like about Shabranskyy is he always seems to be on balance.
Yeah, again, some of that is the amateur background, Barry.
Yeah. Good body shot again.
But I have to say, style-wise, Wilson is making this very easy for Shabranskyy.
Yes, he is.
He's in the pocket. He's not throwing. And Manny Robles zeroed in on this fight very quickly early on in Slava Shabransky's corner. He said, you can see what this guy's doing. He's just trying to load up for either the overhand right or the winging left hook. And
You see that?
Take a look at the punches round by round and how this fight has gone, Steve.
well, the total punches landed the first 3 rounds. Those are scary numbers. Those are big, big numbers. Wilson showing no sign of improving his numbers. Of course, we have a minute to go in round 4, so Shabranskyy may equal the work he did in the first 3 rounds.
That right hand missed, and then he scored with 2 left hands. There's 2 more left hands.
You're so right, Barry, about the balance with Shabranskyy. That's what enables, when you have good balance, you can throw combinations. You're always in a position to throw a punch, and that's what he's doing. That's why he's throwing combinations, and Wilson isn't.
Yeah, and if you do get hit, you're less likely to fall backward or get in trouble.
Wilson's been reduced to the occasional overhand right.
Not quite as busy a round for Shabranskyy in this round, but an equally effective round. Of course, a big night of boxing coming your way on Showtime Championship Boxing. Here is Berman Stavern making his way, and this guy was all business. He was all business yesterday when we talked to him. He just seems to have this moment under control.
Sure it does, and I think he sees this fight as validation.
Other half of that matchup, and I'll tell you what, this guy can cater the affair and fight.
Senior prom?
Looking good, isn't he? Deontay Wilder, and he's looking good.
He's imposing. I mean, he really is imposing. Good-looking guy, charisma.
That's our main event on Showtime Championship Boxing. It is coming up later tonight on Showtime. Good card in general, but that fight, I'll tell you, there's a lot of conversation all around Las Vegas, not just in this building, about that fight.
You nailed it, Barry. It's as much about the unknowns as it is about what we do know. We all can't wait to see what happens to Deontay Wilder when he's challenged. We know what he does when he's not challenged.
Yes.
Let's see what he does when he's in with a legit top 10 heavyweight who has that world title.
Well, we've seen him. I mean, he's got power. No question about that.
Watch your elbow.
I'm going to take a minute to hype Amir Imam, who will be on the first fight over on Showtime Championship Boxing later tonight. That's a young prospect who's going to be a contender very soon, I think, and you don't want to miss him. He's real good.
I completely agree with you. We had him a couple times on our Showbox series. He's got the goods in the ring and out of the ring.
Yeah, confident young kid. Here, Wilson not only smiling but sort of laughing when he gets hit. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, well.
I'm glad he's having a good time.
Stop! No, that was a bozo no-no.
I told you he's going to do it.
Oh, he didn't.
A bozo no-no.
No milk for you, Slava, and back to your corner.
Yes.
Yo, I have nothing for you. See that jab?
I don't know if this is on Ukrainian television, but I'd love to hear the translation of bozo.
I think bozo is bozo in every language.
It might be.
And what I see from Shabranskyy also, which is impressive, granted, again, stylistically, this fight is going exactly as he would like, but really good focus. He hasn't lost his focus at all. It's the same guy every minute of every round.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, we were talking about the Ukrainian fighters, and I'm not trying to make a blanket statement, but they all seem to be, they really pay attention to their guy in the corner, and they execute what their guy tells them he needs to do. And they're all different guys in the corner.
And Manny Robles, Shabransky's trainer, actually speaks some Russian to him sometimes in the corner.
Even though his trunks are high.
Really starting to break Wilson down here.
He is, and more body punching than in the previous rounds too, Barry.
Good shot with the right hand.
Again, never more than one at a time from Wilson. That's his problem. There it is. There's the one.
Yep.
Off balance, can't throw another shot. Has to reset. But he is a tough guy, isn't he?
He's a tough guy. Taking a lot of good shots. Here he switches up again. Now he goes back to right hand. He's just sharp. Not a lot of wasted motion, not a lot of wasted punches for Shabranskyy.
Action from round 5. Watch the elbow here. Left elbow. Oh, wow. Thank God for slow motion, huh?
Yeah, really.
I mean, we've seen fighters use their forearms, but this was an elbow to the nose, right there. Well, more of a forearm, but... And Shabranskyy also landed some legal punches in this round.
Yes, he did.
And again, look at the distance. Perfect distance to land his shots. And what does he do after he lands a 1, 2, 3? Gets out of dodge. Steps back. Can't be countered.
All right, can't do no more boxing. I see you win it. All right, stay tight. He work. Up the middle. Throw it big. All right.
Well, Shabranskyy, I would have to think, winning every round here and throwing more than 60 punches around. So you can't give him anything but an A grade for what he's done so far.
Yeah, perfect style matchup, and he's taken advantage of it. And talk about giving him every round. Let's keep in mind that in round 2, it was a 10-8 round. So
that's right.
With half this fight over, he's up 50-44, I would think, on all the cards.
And that's what, in Wilson's corner, they were saying that you can't box him anymore. You just got to go get him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they meant by boxing because he wasn't boxing him in the first place.
No, well, exactly. I don't think going and getting him is a very good idea either, though. That was a left hand from Wilson.
Wilson trying this round a little bit.
Yeah, he is. That's a slip. Stop. Just off balance.
Wow, 348. That's total punches thrown with only a minute gone in the 6th round. Steady work from Shabranskyy.
I'll say.
Very steady each round, the number of punches thrown.
That's about 5 jabs. Wilson did get him with a left hand, but it was only one, and you pointed that out the whole fight.
Even if he wanted to throw more than one, Barry, he couldn't because of the balance issue after he puts everything into his overhand right.
That's about 8 unanswered punches from Shabranskyy. Then he gets out of there.
A long time ago, somebody should have taught Wilson how to throw short punches on the inside. He doesn't know how to do it. Only had 10 amateur fights.
Yeah.
God, watch the elbow. You watch that elbow.
Those all missed from Shabranskyy, but he comes right back with the left hand. The right hand missed.
And we should point out, Shabransky's never been past 7 rounds. We very well may have to go 10 for the first time tonight.
He is breathing through his mouth just a bit. But the results are pretty much the same as they have been in every other round. And I would think his punch output is just about the same as it has been in every other round. And the result of the round is the same as it's been every other round.
Action from round 6. Shabranskyy, a former world kickboxing champion. There you go. That's a nice takedown. Mauro Ranallo would know the exact term for that.
He would. He would.
And later in the round, Shabranskyy showing that he punches in combination. When you're on the balls of your feet and you have proper balance, he could throw combinations. Jab, right hand. He doesn't stop there, sticks another left out, and he just keeps punching. So if Wilson is up or down, he's going to get hit somewhere along the way, and that's exactly what's happening. Strong right hand. Just Wilson getting hit in the top of the head, the chin, the body.
Well, when he's down around Shabransky's knees, he's going to get hit on the top of the head. So here we go, round 7.
Tight D. Tight D.
Be a good test for Shabranskyy, just in going the rounds, as you pointed out. He hasn't done that before. Dominated the fight.
You see Shabranskyy leading with the jab. You know, that's a punch I wouldn't overuse if I were him. Because Wilson's only option is an overhand right. And Wilson's more likely to land that overhand right countering a jab than any other time.
Just missed that uppercut. That was the punch that put Wilson down back in round 2.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that punch again, have we?
No. There was a good right hand, and Wilson ducked out of there as though he might be in trouble again, but he seems to be okay.
Stop. Break. Step back. No box.
I do think that punch got Wilson's attention, though. Slapping the left hand right behind it. There's a straight jab again.
Not exactly a shock that Wilson is showing the toughness he is, because his last 3 fights, all against world-class guys, including Glasgow, the heavyweight. He went the distance in all of them. Didn't look like he was going to go the distance tonight when we saw him on the floor at the end of the round 2, but he's come back well.
Yes, he has. He's a tough guy. I think this is a good test, actually, at this point in Shabransky's career.
I agree with that, Barry, very strongly, because he's going to get 10 rounds out of it, most likely, and that's always an invaluable experience for a young fighter.
Yeah, good straight right hand. Still a ways to go, a minute remaining. I think Shabranskyy might be thinking knockout again here.
Well, he could be wearing Wilson down.
I think so.
Gotcha.
Kind of tough to go to the body regularly against Wilson because he is a shorter fighter, big arms.
Wilson's corner exhorting him to throw an overhand right, which Wilson looks as though he's looking for. Final 10 seconds. Another dominant round by Shabranskyy. And he's got Wilson backing up in this round.
Time.
So what do you think? You got the main event tonight is a toss-up fight, pick 'em fight. That's going to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Well, as a famous boxing writer said years ago, they pay me to pick fights, not to pick fights right.
That's correct. And sure enough, we haven't been.
Watch your head. Watch your head now.
I think we agree though on tonight's fight, which we're not going to release.
Safe to say, it could go either way. With
like
the punchers, yeah, no doubt about that. This fight, on the other hand, with the 10-8 round for Shabranskyy in round 2, it's been a shutout. And Wilson's going to need the power of Wilder or Stavern to get back into this fight.
I think Shabransky's going to look to close the deal here.
Wilson's walking in saying, more, come on, more.
Hold him in, be careful. Now box.
Wilson tried to get in closer, which could be a bad thing.
Uh-oh, like your elbow.
Go to work. Go over there, son.
Wilson's reach disadvantage shows there. His offense has been hitting Shabranskyy on the fists with his face.
Yes. Not generally a formula for winning.
No. And Shabranskyy, again, mature enough, in proper condition, so he's not going to fall apart here.
Let him up, let him
in
up.
the first
Stop,
time. In the first time he goes long in a fight.
Box.
No, he's one of the long amateur career like most of the Ukrainians. Did fight, as you pointed out, in the World Series of boxing. So really far more experience than the 11-0 record that he has. Nice job to get under 2 Wilson shots and come up with a left hand of his own.
He doesn't stop punching. He's a volume guy.
Yep.
Not a huge puncher, but I think he punches hard enough to get his man's attention.
I think so too. I think certainly he's got Wilson's attention in this fight. But you're right, not necessarily a guy's going to get you out with one punch.
Like his light heavyweight countryman Kovalev,
Yes.
who can get you out with
Yes,
one
he
punch.
can.
Now box.
Let's go, Warrior.
We saw a young guy the other night too who has the goods, I believe.
Red Cat.
Good right hand drops him.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You all right? Come here. Walk to me.
That was a clean right hand. And I don't think Jay Beatty's going to let this go too far. It's about 15, maybe 20 unanswered punches at the bell.
Give me some water. Give me some water. And the ice, Paul.
Yes, ma'am, I'm fine.
Hold your breath.
Again, Vicky Mazzarana, the ring doctor here, got right in his ear, said, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yes, ma'am," very polite.
Beautiful. Keep your hands up. Get your ass out of here.
Action from round 8. Again, for the second time in this fight, the knockdown comes via right hand. This one, a straight right, and again, it comes at the end of the round. Now, when a fighter falls down face first like that, 90% of the time, he's not getting up. But Wilson's one tough guy. Look at that. Walked in, coming forward into that punch. And then when he did get up, it just became a question of what was going to come first, the referee's intervention or the bell.
Well, the bell has twice saved Garrett Wilson. 2 clean shots for the knockdowns.
I guess when you make your living as a tough guy, and that's the #1 thing you bring into the ring, I guess there's no possibility that you're going to quit in your corner. Your corner man's going to quit for you. It's not that much of an option for a guy like Wilson.
Well, it's kind of a badge of honor, I think, to finish the fight for him.
Stop.
Gonna have to have a little trunk, a little wardrobe malfunction once again.
I'd say that's the least of Wilson's problems in this fight.
He doesn't care if his shorts drop. It's just that he doesn't.
And again, he'd be so much better off if he tried to at least get inside. It would shorten the shots of Shabranskyy a little bit. He'd get hit less, hit by fewer big shots, but he just doesn't really fight that way. Unless you're Dwight Muhammad Qawi, if you're 5'8", light heavyweight, you can't fight on the inside, you're in trouble.
No, absolutely. Wilson did touch him with the right hand there.
Don't hold him, don't hold him. Thank you.
Double jabbing on a right hand. 2 more shots, a right hand. And again, Wilson is in trouble. Right hand again, chopping right hand. Wilson says, I'm fine. Right hand drives him off it.
He's in trouble, Barry. I agree with you, but he doesn't want. No, he's in trouble. He won't admit it.
Bleeding from the mouth now. Long way to go here. 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the 9th round.
Yeah, the brutality of this fight is beginning to show its effect on the face of Wilson. Left side of his face is swollen.
It is, and he's bleeding from the mouth. I can't help but wonder if maybe there's a jaw issue here.
Could be, yeah.
Double left hand again. The combination again. Another right hand. Garrett Wilson will get the award for bravery, but that does not go too far. And that, a lot of swelling on the cheek of Wilson, and that, at least in our history, would tell you it's a jaw problem.
And maybe he has a jaw problem because he's been talking so much, and if you get hit, you can't talk without opening your mouth, and if you get hit with your mouth open, you're going to have jaw problems.
Another combination from Shabranskyy. Wilson smiles at him. Taking an awful beating here.
Yeah, and you know, just because Wilson's still on his feet and talking and showing bravado, still could stop this fight, whether you're the corner or the referee. I would have no problem with that at this point.
I feel the same way. It'd be interesting to see if the ring doctor doesn't step in and say that's enough. We'll find out.
Hey, Doc, come in, Doc. Okay. All right. Hand me that ice cord. Fuck. Go on, I need the ice bag. Oh, fuck. All right, thank you. Yeah, I see. But, no, I ain't coming yet. That's what you look at him. Tell me what you're talking about now. You all right?
He's taking a beating, though.
He said he ain't hit him with nothing flush this round.
No. He didn't land a punch that time. He just didn't land one.
Right on.
It took 2 minutes.
Can I keep going?
No.
Does this hurt here?
No.
Guys, I'm stopping the fight anyway. Fight's over.
Oh, good.
Jay Nady's going to call it off.
No, he's good. Okay.
Maybe a little bit of an embarrassment for Garrett Wilson, but I can't question it, Steve.
Good for you, Jay Nady. That's all I can say. The doctors didn't seem to want to stop the fight. The corner didn't want to seem to stop the fight.
Garrett Wilson certainly didn't want to, and he says give it up for Slava Shabranskyy. As well, the folks here at the MGM should. A complete performance by him against a very tough guy.
Indeed. I mean, the fact that Shabranskyy put Wilson on the floor twice in this fight is very impressive because Wilson never down until this fight.
All right, let's take a look at the knockdowns. First one in the 2nd round, the last one in the 8th round.
What these knockdowns have in common, Shabranskyy lands a right hand both times. Both times Wilson walks into the punch. In round 2, it was a uppercut. Beautiful punch. I don't think we saw it again from Shabranskyy the whole night. And then in round 8, again in the last 10 seconds of the round, it was an overhand right this time. And boy, this was a shock that the fight continued because Wilson falls face first. And he did get up, took a few more punches that round, and kept going. And he'd be still going if he had a choice.
Yeah, he would. And the 9th round, he just took a real beating. And you might have heard very good audio in the corner, incidentally, by our crew. But Jay Nady saying to him, you didn't land a punch in that round. I'm stopping the fight.
Huge power punch connects for Shabranskyy, 48%. He threw, almost 3 times as many punches as Wilson did. Numbers dominated. He won every round. Wilson not even close to winning any rounds. And impressive performance. Again, Wilson a tough guy. Might have a broken jaw, although he didn't say, he told the doctor it didn't hurt him. But who knows if that's true or not.
Absolutely a complete victory. Let's go to the center of the ring. We'll make it all official once more with Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy?
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 9. A referee in charge, Jay Nady, stops the contest upon suggestion of a ringside physician. He is the winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Vyacheslav Lionheart Shabranskyy.
Well, Steve, an absolute complete victory for Slava Shabranskyy, and I'll tell you, these the Ukrainian fighters that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 weeks are making a pretty loud statement.
They sure have. We'd like to see Shabranskyy again. He hit Wilson with everything in this fight. He was once suspended in the Ukraine for kicking a fighter, and that's about the only thing he didn't do in this fight.
A complete win for him, a very impressive win, and that's a wrap for us here on Show Extreme. We'll take it back up top now, and our host, Brian Custer. Brian.
Thanks, Barry, and boy, what a job there by Slava Shabranskyy. You can see why Golden Boy's so high on him. Obviously, he's in the prospect stage right now, but a little more seasoning with his height and his power, he can certainly make some noise. All right, now let's review all of our action here on Showtime Extreme. Of course, we started with the heavyweights and Eric Molina with the vicious body shots. This fight was stopped in the 8th round because of that right uppercut by Molina. And then in our featured Showtime Extreme bout, Slava Shabranskyy, boy, he drops Garrett Wilson twice at the end of the 2nd round, in the 8th round, and then they stop it at the end of the 9th round. Slava Shabranskyy with the victory. Once again, coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific over on Showtime, it's Showtime Championship Boxing with 3 big fights. The main event, Berman Stavern taking on Deontay Wilder for the WBC